The next presentation that you will see will be about book covers, their development, history, and anything else.
Hello, my name is Martyna, and I'm working in the academic library. And as you would expect, books are a big part of my life. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about book covers. So there's a popular saying that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I think quite the opposite. And with this presentation, I will try to show you why I think that. Before we start, I have a very quick question for you. Do you know who this person is? If you know, just raise your hand. Okay, thank you. For those who don't know, this is Stanisław Lem, and he was a very popular Polish author. He was writing science fiction in the second part of the 20th century. And his most popular work is Solaris, and it was also a movie based on that book, so maybe you heard the word Solaris somewhere. And I'm speaking about him right now because his books were, my research for my master's degree was his books. So a lot of book covers I will show you today will be from his works. So now let's go back in time, and I wanted to talk a little bit about history of book covers because I think it's a very interesting topic and how the book covers were connected with the technological improvements in history. So we have ancient times, and we don't have books in form we know today because we had clay tablets, or in the ancient Egypt we had scrolls, for example. And as you can see here, they are very sturdy materials, so they didn't need protection and they didn't need covers. And also, fun fact, they didn't have titles. In the Middle Ages, the book and the book cover in the form we know today appeared, and they were very expensive books because they were handwritten, and it was very time-consuming to produce one copy of the book. So the people who owned them, they thought about protecting the books, so they did book covers from wood and animal skin. But in the 15th century, very important technological invention happened because Johannes Gutenberg invented book press, and the whole production of the book very sped up. And the problem was that the books were producing there were too many books to produce book covers. So till the 19th century, we had something called temporary covers. So there was just a cover, but it was printed on the regular paper. And we have on the top of the temporary cover words okładka tymczasowa, which means temporary cover. In the second half of the 19th century, the technological improvements were better, and the book cover started to be an obligatory part of the book. So books from that time had two characteristical things. The first one was the name of the author in the title of the book, embellished in the golden letters. And the second one, there are some pressed ornaments to serve an aesthetic function to the book cover. In the 20th century, also technological improvements were done. So next to the text, we had pictures on the covers, and they were more colorful. And also, each genre started to have their own characteristic things on the book covers. For example, we have Stanisław Lem's book, and it's a science fiction book, so we have a planet. Also, harlequins have woman and man in love, and so on. And in the 21st century, with the technological advancements, for example, computers and graphic software, the possibilities now are endless, and we can do whatever we want on our book cover. And when I was talking about history, I was mentioning here and there some functions of the book cover. So now I wanted to collect that together. The first function, of course, is the information function, because we must know what's inside. So it's usually the author, the title, and sometimes the publisher house. The second, also very important, the protection part, because paper is a very fragile material, and it needs more sturdy material to protect. The third one is communication, and the communication is working in two ways. The first one is that the text and the pictures on the book cover, they're creating a new message that can bring some emotions, some feelings, some thoughts to the person who is looking at the book cover. But also the second way is that the book cover is connected with the contents of the book. The fourth one is advertising. It became a very popular function in the 20th and the 21st century because there are many, many books now. And for example, we have on the cover a very small fragment from the book, and it's from for advertising purposes. And the last one, but not least, the aesthetic, because very good book cover, it's very nice to look at. And now I wanted to show you some of my favorite book covers. And the first one is from Stanisław Lem. It's for book Solaris, and it's from the 60s. So the space wasn't much explored back then. So the picture on the book cover is more of like the idea how this alien planet would look like. And it also reminds me of lava lamp. But the fun fact is that the lava lamp was invented in the same year that the book was produced. So the author of the book cover probably didn't know about lava lamp yet. The second one is the opposite, I think. It's a book titled How I Stopped Loving Design. So it's a book about design. And the graphic designer who designed that book, he intentionally made a lot of mistakes when he was designing that to highlight the content of the book. And I think it's a very clever and simple idea to design this cover and to advertise it, because it's very, very weird. And to show that in Poland we don't have only good covers, I will show you some of the bad ones, because they're very hilarious. The first one, it's a book about libraries and money, and it's the very common mistake when designing a book cover. It's the literal depiction of the content. So we have book and we have money. And also fonts are bad, but I won't talk about this, because about fonts, I will show you on the second book cover. We have a book, it's a horror book by Lovecraft, but when we are looking at the book cover, we just look for the biggest word. So the biggest word is thriller, but it's not the title. So the title we have on the bottom, and it's in two sizes, and just the whole hierarchy of the text on the cover is disturbed, and it's not like you cannot see what's going on here. We are going to the history lesson because I wanted to tell you a little bit about design trends in Poland in the past 70 years, because it's very interesting time period. And also I wanted to tell it a little bit about, because maybe in the future when you will be in the bookshop, on the antique shop, you will be able to estimate from what time period this book cover will be. In the 50s, it was after World War II, and we had communism in Poland, so the machines weren't that good. But we had very good artists that they made the book covers very, very interesting and very beautiful. So we can see here the book cover that was inspired by Cubism art movement, and there were a lot of book covers that was inspired by different art movements. In the 60s and the 70s, this trend continued, and also critics started to name these covers as as a small pieces of art, so they can serve as a book cover or also as a poster, because it's very nice to look at and very beautiful. Also we had more subdued designs and more minimalistic, and I wanted to show you the book that it's part of the series. And I wanted to show you how different books look like from the same series, because it's only matter of colors and the one rectangle in the top. And I think it's a very clever design to show some books from the same series. After 1989, communism ended in Poland, and we had a lot of new publisher houses, and we had better machines, we had computers, we had softwares for graphic designers, so the possibilities started to become endless. But there was one small problem. These publisher houses, they didn't hire the people who knew how to design a good book cover, and it shows. The first one is a simple one, because there is a main problem with the fonts. The name Stanisław is too small, the surname Lem is too big, the title is in different color, they don't match each other, they don't complement each other. But there is also a face of a random man in the bottom, and it's not an error, it's on every copy. We didn't know how and why, but he's there. And the second one, this is my favorite, probably. This is also from Solaris, from 1997. And I know that you are looking for the big word censored in here, and yes, there is a naked lady in that book cover, and I had to cover her chest. But there is happening a lot more in that cover, because we have two lambs portrayal in the cover. First is here, and second is here. I think it's not that much visible, but he's here, trust me. There is also a very big flaming planet on the bottom. There is a big ball of metal, and it's glowing. It's happening here. Also, the fonts are not good, because the name Stanisław is more squished than the last one. The surname Lem is also too big. And of course, the title is in some different font that also they don't match each other. So we had this Wild West in the 90s, but in the now they are very, very, not that very, very good maybe, but they are better. Now, due to globalization, due to social media, and also that books become a mass product, the publisher houses don't want to hire good graphic designers, so a lot of examples are just from I don't know, they are just original covers from the different countries, the country of the origin. But also the text must be big and bold, and it must stand out, because we are showing our books in social media, so everybody must, see what we are reading. And I want to talk a little bit about what about the future, because I think it's a very interesting question, and I thought about this for a bit. And first I wanted to talk a little bit about ebooks, because a few years ago, when ebooks became popular, there were some voices that the ebooks will just suppress the paper books and there will be no paper books in the future. But now I see and I think that every form of the book will find its reader, And I think it will be the same with the AI-generated covers, because there's a boom for AI-generated covers right now, and also AI-generated books in the whole. But I think that after this boom, it will just be like with the ebooks. So there will be AI-generated covers, of course, but also there will be a lot of great graphic designers who will continue to design good and very functional book covers. And with that, I wanted to thank you all for your attention, and I wanted to say that in the future we'll be looking at some book covers. You will judge them by their covers, because it's a hard work by a lot of people, and I think we should appreciate that hard work. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Martyna. And I have a kind of question for you. So do you personally choose the books for yourself by their covers, or maybe you are interested more by the plot, maybe, or by the theme, or something else?
I It's an interesting question. I didn't think about this, because I prefer to read books from a library, so I just borrow it and give it back. But when I am thinking about books in my home library, I think I will choose the books with the good covers. For example, with the Solaris from the 60s with the lava lamp theme, I have it in my home because it's very vibrant. It has very vibrant covers and it's very nice to look at. But also I have different Solaris, so I have two books with the same content, but it's two different okładkach, two different book covers, because I appreciate the graphic designers who designed them.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, thank you so much. Any questions? Anyone? People? Okay, so scream now.
Thank you for that question. The funny thing is that I wanted to talk about the school polish of posters, but I didn't have enough time. So yes, there was something like called the Polish school of posters, and that they were very popular back then, and now are also iconic. And the same people who did that posters that also did the book covers. So like when I was doing my research for my thesis, the names are like the same. So yeah. Yes, yes.
Interesting questions, thank you. Maybe someone else? Okay.
Okay, it's very complicated. It's a very simple question, but also it's very complicated, because when I was thinking about what I want to do with my master's degree and what I want to research, I didn't have a lot of ideas. And there's one person in my life that gave me a lot of ideas, a lot of good ideas. And that person just said something like, maybe you should do some, I don't know, Lamb's cover because they are very interesting, and he is like from the 60s because it was his first works in the 60s, and his books are now producing to this day with new book covers, so it will be like a history lesson, and it will be all from this one author, and this I had 3 titles, so it was like a history analysis of how his book covers was designed and produced throughout the time. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Martyna. Thank you for your questions.